David and Sheila are everyone's favorite couple on 90 Day Fiance right now, but now everyone's wondering what has been going on with them since filming wrapped up. Are they even still together? Have either of them moved to each other? Are they married, or did they completely split up? Well, guys, the answer is pretty shocking. You guys will never believe the truth about David and Sheila. So David and Sheila's current relationship status is pretty interesting. For one, it is pretty clear that they are at least still on good terms. Obviously, that does not mean that they are definitely still together, but if things ended between them, I don't think they ended badly at all. And honestly, I think there's more likely a chance that they might still be in a relationship as of right now, because all we have to go off of is social media. And from that, I feel like David might still have feelings for Sheila, because neither of them have, are super active on social media in general. But David does have an Instagram account, and just take one look at his page, and that will tell you everything you need to know, because most of his recent photos are of him and Sheila together, and he always posts their cute selfies. And he's also posted a couple of short videos that Sheila is in, and David doesn't usually tag the photos or write captions, so it is hard to say if any of these are actually current. They might be all older photos and clips, but I feel like the fact that he posts these photos and videos is already pretty telling. I mean, he probably wouldn't be posting them if he and Sheila were on bad terms. And in a rare caption that he recently wrote, he also hinted at missing Sheila and said that they had a very good time together. So from that, I do think that they might still be in a relationship, which is honestly great, because they both do seem like a genuinely nice people. A lot of comments under David's post are really positive too, and it's clear that people are really rooting for them. So I hope that I am right, and that they are still going strong. And obviously, if they are still together, that does raise a lot of questions, because they seem to genuinely care about each other, and Sheila seems to be really kind. Now, that does not mean that they don't have any issues, because for one, there's obviously the communication barrier. Sheila is learning ASL, but learning a new language is difficult, so it's not like, she'll be fluent in no time, and it's the kind of thing that requires a lot of energy and patience and time, and it's not like they can just skip through all that hard work. And then there's also the fact that Sheila already has a problem with David's interpreter, because she got very, very, very jealous that the interpreter was a woman. And in a way, it was sort of understandable. I mean, it must have been frustrating for her to see someone be able to communicate with her boyfriend so effortlessly. But at the same time, I really don't think there's any reason for her to be jealous. It shouldn't matter if the interpreter is a woman. I do think that David has genuine feelings for her, so hopefully they can get through all the jealousy stuff. But it is clear that it's not going to be easy, and they will have a lot they'll need to overcome, and they'll need to take things seriously if they really want to make this work. And David and Sheila do seem like a really sweet couple, and if you're wondering, well, how did they actually meet? David said that they met on Facebook. He joined a Facebook group for deaf singles a couple of years ago, and that's where he came across Sheila. They started talking, and they fell in love, and even though she was all the way in the Philippines, and David admitted that when he met Sheila online, he felt like it was crazy, but he added that she was his perfect soulmate, and that he really wanted to trust that this was the real deal. And he said that Sheila was better than any other woman he's ever dated, mainly because she's just so sweet. He believed that she loved him as a person, and their meeting was very important to David. So even though he had feelings for Sheila, he still was worried that she would break his heart, and especially after what happened to him in his previous relationship, because David said that about 6 years ago he fell in love with a deaf woman, but they eventually broke up, and this happened because she cheated on him, and this left David heartbroken. But he, found hope again when he met Sheila on Facebook, and it is a really sweet story, and another reason why I hope the two of them end up working. So at first, a lot of people, including myself, were very skeptical about Sheila and their relationship, especially those close to David. But this was because about a year into their relationship, Sheila started asking David for money, and that was before they even met in person. He already sent her about $3,000. So obviously this made a lot of people really concerned, and David's friend Mark was especially concerned, and he said that these things rarely end well, but David, remained hopeful, and I do think that he has a right to trust Sheila. And I do get why Mark is concerned. I mean, David was sending money to a woman that he'd never even met before, but it does seem like Sheila really genuinely loves David, and it's obvious that she really needed the money. And David said that when COVID hit, she lost her job, and on top of that, her house was destroyed by a fire, and then it was apparently hit again by a typhoon. And we all saw her house on the recent episode of 90 Day Fiance, and this made me think that she really wasn't trying to rip David off. I just think she was desperate, so she asked him for help, but it wasn't her plan from the get-go to do this. I mean, according to David, she never asked for money in the first year they were together, and a year is actually a pretty long time. So I don't think she would have waited that long if she was only after David's money. Now, obviously, I could be wrong for all I know, but they really do seem like a genuine couple to me right now. And Sheila seems really nice and kind and not like the type of person who would just take advantage of others. And David and Sheila's meeting at the airport was really adorable. You could really tell that they were both so happy to finally see each other. And David said that when they hugged, he felt like he was in heaven. And Sheila was literally tearing up. I mean, it was just so sweet. So sadly, things did kind of take a turn for the worse, with David starting to feel really anxious and to the restroom, which was broken at the restaurant that they went to. But overall, it was definitely a little bit of a disaster, but they did get through it together. And I feel like one day it'll just be a funny story that they tell about their first meeting. But right now, I really do have a lot of hope for these two, and I hope that they can make things work. And obviously, they do need to learn how to communicate better, not just with Sheila learning ASL, but just in general, because she decided not to tell him about her jealousy issue, which on one hand was okay, I guess, but she was probably just trying to protect him because she didn't want to hurt him. But on the other hand, they have to be able to communicate, and if this is going to be a consistent issue for her, she probably should have just addressed it. And there's also the question of Sheila's young son, because he doesn't know ASL either, which might make things kind of difficult for Sheila and David, but hopefully it all works out in the end. But anyway, what do you guys think? Do you like Sheila and David, and do you hope that they stay together? Guys, let me know in the comments down below.